William, thank you. We're going to have Team 1. It's named 1 for a reason because it is number 1 and it has maintained that status. I know that Mr. Weeks will see how that goes for us today. As was mentioned, there's been exuberance and excitement. There's been exhaustion and tears. There's been fits of rage, and that's just me this morning. The team has been great. It's a fantastic team. I do want to introduce to you, and several of our team members were unable to be here for this presentation. So Mark and I were the co-leads. Lesia, Julie, Taylor from the KPO, Carmen, Tasha, Carol, Garth, Wally, Susie, Susan, Lynn. And I think it's really important to really point out the great work that Susan and Carmen have done. All of the team players pulled together, but these two in particular have kept our spirits up. And I really appreciate that. We'll learn more as we go through. We are presenting to a TAC time of 20 minutes. We've laid out, exactly how we want to accomplish that. So we have everyone participating in the presentation. We do have, for the record, a wonderful picture of the team in front of the 2 parts that we worked on. So with that, Mark, if you're willing.
So our project focused on the operating room, as Dan mentioned, and what we focused on was cart 4 and 5 in the OR storage room, the anesthetic cart and the IV solution cart. In our current situation, those 2 carts had recently been 5S'd, and in fact there was a 3rd cart originally that was removed. The stock levels on those 2 carts were determined primarily by the unit clerk. It was a visual inspection. She just kind of gut feel and would check and decide what would be needed to be replaced. We thought that step might be able to be reduced or even eliminated with a Kanban system to know exactly how to get what the stock level should be. The ordering systems, there were multiple ordering systems on the cart. Some of them were ordered through the surgical information system. Others were ordered Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That was the bulk of the supplies on the carts after that visual inspection was done. And some special equipment orders were handled directly with the vendor salesperson. We thought there might be an opportunity to try to standardize the ordering process. Delivery was once a day, usually late in the afternoon. Materials management delivered the item to the OR room. But again, based on our Monday, Wednesday, Friday order, we were only getting most of the supplies 3 days a week at the time. The stock levels for some of the products appeared to be higher than necessary, and items were not always stocked on a first in, first out basis. Our goals for our project were, of course, a learning component, learn about Kanban, what is this stuff and how can we apply it. Ensure staff and clinicians in the OR never run out of supply. We were looking to free up staff time, in particular nursing time that was dedicated to the stocking process. We wanted to free that up so they could focus on clinical care, and we wanted to reduce inventory holding costs. Moving to the next sheet is just a layout of the operating room, and you can see this area highlighted is the storage room we were focusing on. This is the layout within that room in a pre-5S condition. You can see there were 3 carts dedicated for these supplies, and if you look at the post-5S, they were down to 2. So that's what we started with this week. Hand over to Carmen.
Thank you. So next we're going to discuss the diagram of material and information flow pre-Kanban. So as Mark indicated, we have a few different processes in the operating room for replenishing our stock. The first one is the surgical information system. So as cases are performed, the information system tracks stock and non-stock items that are used for those cases. 2 times per day, electronic messages goes to materials management. The stock items are replenished that day. Non-stock items will be handled by materials management and ordered as it comes through the message system. So then within the OR storage room, some of those surgical information systems would have automatically gone in there once they come up. As well though, from that OR storage room, Supplies for the operating room theaters and 4 cases are pulled by nursing or OR attendants. So to restock that room, those are where some of these processes come into play. The unit clerk will order stock and non-stock items. Stock items will be ordered 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then are delivered that afternoon and are put away by unit clerk and nursing staff. Non-stock items, with the approval of the manager, are then ordered and come in as delivered. When there are stock outs or back orders, materials management will handle some of those back orders, but there are times when the OR nursing unit manager will have to deal directly with the vendors with respect to those back orders if we're in a crucial situation of not having the supplies. As well, from that room, we stock pharmacy supplies, and those items are actually ordered Monday, Wednesday, Friday by nursing staff or as needed, and they would be returned, replenished to the operating room that afternoon. And I think we'll pass it on.
We have some pictures for you to look at. So these are pre-5S pictures of the storage room prior to doing what we've done. And you can see with over the burying of carts, the mislabeling, the overflow of all of the supplies. It's been quite a challenge for everybody to try and find what they need. Post 5S and post Kanban. This is, or pre-Kanban, pardon me. This is what the carts looked like after. This is cart 4. And then we have cart 5. So it's much clearer for people to see the supplies and what they need. We also did some mapping of flow through the operating room. And as you can see, when people come in, when they were trying to do the supplies would come in. There was a number of gatherings at the desk. There was a number of traveling back into the supply room and then looking for supplies. So it was quite confusing for everyone and a lot of work for everyone. We seem to be missing one there now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's on the other side.
Okay.
That's my fault.
So the post-Kanban, this is the flow. So you can see the change in what we've done as far as flow in and out of the OR for supplies. Our progress target sheet, pre-Kanban, our space, we had 3 carts. We wanted a 50% reduction in space. Inventory, we had 918 items or $4,800 worth of supplies. We wanted a 50% reduction in those. Nursing time spent on replenishing items. There were 5 nurses, 30 minutes per day, for a total of 2.5 hours per day being spent on supplies. We wanted a 100% reduction in that time. The delivery frequency was every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We wanted a 40% increase in that, so that we wanted to see those supplies come up every day versus 3 times a week. The quality, we did not have any expired product as far as a defect, but we did have people throwing supplies in on top of old supplies, so there was the potential for having expired product. Interruptions, there were 5 to 10 interruptions per day during the process. And stock outs, there were stock that were on back order. There were 2 items that were on back order. The target was to never have those defects occur. Productivity gain, the daily time spent checking inventory, reordering, and restocking. For our carts, it's about an hour per day for baseline, and we wanted to see a 50% reduction in that. The next sheets, we'll just show you a couple of them. Basically, these were our worksheets where we identified the base supply that we needed, the usage, and compared to the annual use. And we did have some concerns about what our buffer stock should be. You always need a little bit extra in case you run out ahead of time, because in the OR you may have one day where you have a run on something and then not so much the next couple of days. We looked at our lead times for how often a lot of these things are supplied, because they're not normally stocked many of them, so the manufacturers take some time to deliver. And then we did a sweep of the stock at the end to make sure that the operating room staff was comfortable with what we were leaving on the shelves.
Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the ideas or obstacles that we had to overcome. The first one is our IVs or our fluids. They had many in a bin, no way of doing the first in, first out. So we had to come up with a 2-bin system, still using the basket that they were in. Our next one is our bottles of saline that we had. Thanks to SPD, they will now actually be looking after that, and they will no longer be stocked by materials management. The other one is overstocking or the non-stock cart that we had. Materials management will now be looking after all of the non-stock items on these 2 carts. Here's just an example of how our carts are labeled. We have 2 carts. This is a visual for both the nursing and for materials management coming in the room. This one is for over top of our IVs. It is actually a flip attached to the bin so they can visually see which bin they need to pull from. When the bin is then empty, they will flip it, and materials management will know after the Kanban card is pulled that they need to fill on that side to help with expiries. When a Kanban is pulled, this is where it will be put in as for ordered and to be ordered for our order. This is just a picture of our cart that the bins will be placed on. So on top it is the to be ordered, and after she has checked it off, she then will put it on the bottom shelf, signaling that it is on order. And here's just a signal or an example that we have come up with to put in the bin to let the nurses know that an item is on order or is on back order.
Hi everyone. I don't think I'll even probably need a mic. I need to lighten up the load a little bit. I'm tired of counting. The count. The count. We have counted and counted and counted. Anyways, I'm here to tell you a little bit about pre-Kanban, and most of the ordering was done visually. We would come in and we would look and we would check off. It was done by nursing staff and unit clerk. Post-Kanban is now, once it's in place, we will have materials management come to replenish the Kanban targeted carts on a daily basis. And the unit clerk will continue to monitor and order items Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this is a photo of our finished Kanban carts. And you can see we've gone to colored bin system, and everything is looking much neater. There's a photo of the 2 Kanban carts 4 and 5, and we also have a 3rd Kanban cart, which just has, it's targeted as a red stock cart, and that's going to be what materials management only will deal with. That was overstocked items of special items only, they were not in stock items. And materials management will deal with depleting that cart. I'll just give you a quick review. I think that Tash has already gone through that. But basically, our bins will be, when they're empty, the nursing staff will come and pull the bin and they'll put it on top of a cart. And then they'll put the materials management porter will come in and she'll see that visually that bin is there. She'll tick it off on her sheet and she will continue to put that bin now underneath the cart, which will indicate that product is being ordered. And if there's a product on back order, she'll put a little tag in the cart where, in the bin where that product is back ordered. If it's back ordered and there's a substitute needed, she will put a different little card in the bin to indicate that. And basically, again, what Tasha said about the ordered and to be ordered. The porter will come and pull the tag after she's checked it off on her sheet, and she will put it in the ordered thing. When she comes back and fills our order, she'll pull that Kanban cart, put it back into the bin, put it back onto the shelf. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk briefly about our progress report from this week. We've all worked very hard, sometimes reworking on occasion until we got it right. Basically, as was stated earlier, we were looking at reducing our footprint from 150 square feet. We had a 33% reduction in that, down from 3 carts to 2. So we are now an increased floor space for other items of 33%. Our inventory, we started out with 980 items post 5S. We were targeting an additional 50% reduction. At the end of the week, we had removed 672 items at a cost of $3,849, a total of 73% reduction there. Nursing time, we were looking for 100% reduction, and we got that. Nurses are no longer spending any time on replenishing their items. Deliver frequency, as stated earlier, it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We were looking at an increase on our frequency, and after a couple of runs through, we decided that Monday through Thursday we could have 1 replenishment. On Friday we would have 2 replenishments, so that we made sure we were stocked up for any surgeries that happened on the weekend. Didn't face Monday morning without some of those supplies. So 60% increase on the delivery frequency. Quality, we were looking for no expired products, no interruptions, and no stockouts or back orders. By the end of the week, we definitely had no expired products. Mattman was taking over the process, so our interruptions were completely eliminated. And we still did have 2 back orders, but we've been working through the system on how to deal with those vendor issues of the back orders, no supplies. And the last one, productivity gains, which is our daily time spent checking the inventory, reordering, and restocking. We were looking at a 50% reduction. We took our time down from about an hour a day to about a 6-minute and 57-second process once it was inside the OR door. So we had an 88% reduction in the productivity. Well, an 88% reduction in the amount of time spent, not an 88% reduction in productivity. That would have been fabulous. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to do the newspaper. Of course, Kanban continues even after we're finished Kanban. So we have a 30-day list. We've made 10 items that we're going to look at for 30 days, and then the team will come and audit to see what we've done. So I'm just going to highlight, I picked pink materials management labels need to be reviewed. So we have to see the standard labels, if we have to change them, retake them, or whatever. We've given a date of February of 2013. Special order process needs to be eliminated. No special order process for the units. Materials management with the target of March of 2014. And issues with back orders from suppliers. We have to solve the supply shortage issues need to be resolved with the vendors, and that's with 3S, and we've given a date of March of 2014. So the Kanban workshop summary. Okay, communication is a key. Many individuals and departments need to work together to make it a success. It's hard to get it right the first time. It takes trial and error, and it's an essential part of our work. Use technology only after you have succeeded at the mock-up. And document the lessons that you learned and the tools that you create so that future teams can benefit from your learning. Experience is a big key to other teams. Take the time to have breaks and have fun together. And Susan is going to come back up here. From our team, she's written a poem that kind of describes our week.
you can hopefully see it there in case I stutter. I'm not good at using a mic, so I'll just put the mic down. My mind didn't get shut off. When I give my heart to something, I give it my all. So anyways, I probably won't even be able to read it now. So maybe I'll just I'll read along up there and I won't look at you. Am I blocking your way?
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry. Everybody has been. Okay, sorry. Monday was the beginning of our Kanban dream. Nervously, we anticipated who would be part of our team. The logistics were translated and explained. The importance of a pull system as opposed to a push chain. Our challenge was described by our Japanese sensei. We need to reduce inventories in a most efficient way. Words of wisdom and wit were shared with the crowd. Now get together with your teams and start thinking out loud. Brainstorming sessions began to take shape. Individuals joined together, eager to participate. A signal had been developed. When stock is running low, a Kanban will trigger production to flow. Overstocking will be a thing of the past. Needed money will be freed up at last. We have all come away with an enhanced point of view. Our minds are open to change and our spirits renewed. Thank you for the opportunity to present our outcome. Just a friendly reminder, OR is number one.
Just from our team, I would like to say thank you to everybody on our team. It was a great week. It was a lot of work and we worked hard. I'd like to thank patients and families that were part of the OR staff and the physicians, Sensei Narato and Numato, and Mr. Black, maintenance, materials management, SPD, dietary staff, housekeeping, and departments that we stole labels from. So thank you again to everyone.
I could feel for a minute Mr. Weeks in the audience conceding already even before his presentation. So what I wanted to do is give the team, through the power and fruit of me as a deputy minister,